Oh yeah. Oh,
Hey, how's it going?
hey, success. Perfect, man.
How's your day
All this
treating
stuff,
you?
so like I said, you're gonna have to be a
Huh?
little forgiving, man.
How's your day treating you?
So far, so good. Almost 10 o'clock here and just outside of Detroit, so
Yeah. So that's East Coast time, right?
correct. Where are you
Um,
at?
I'm in Seattle, so it is a quarter to 7.
Gotcha.
So do you pronounce that Catan?
Yes, Catan.
Catan, okay. And very first thing we're gonna do is hook you up with a bio, which is like your backstory. Before that, did you want to play as any of the thief kits, like assassin or you know, cut purse or um, what are they called, housebreaker or whatever? Any of those
They're like a
specific?
just like a general
General thief. Okay.
yeah, thief type character.
So that's the thief without a kit. It's just
Okay,
thief.
perfect.
Okay. And then what alignment?
Uh, it's for thieving characters in second edition. Can you be like a chaotic good? Is that
You can be anything but lawful good in second edition as a
okay?
thief.
Chaotic good. I mean, kind of he'll do some pretty despicable things for the right reasons, you know.
Okay, so I just want to go over the meaning of chaotic good. So chaotic characters don't like to take orders. They don't like to work as a team. They don't like to have other people make decisions for them. Like if someone else comes up with a plan, they probably instinctively will not want to go along with it if everybody else does, just because they have to be the one guy. Um, and they are usually pretty like unreliable. Like they're the kind of person that's always late to work. Um, they're usually kind of sloppy. Um, Probably the guy that doesn't do his dishes for a week. You
Yeah,
know. Uh,
maybe more neutral good. Hey, there's a lot of music on that orb uh, tabletop.
yeah.
Kind of makes you hard to hear. Is there a way to turn that down a little bit?
So in the top right corner, there's a little gear symbol. It's called Mice Settings. You click on that, and then open up the audio and video submenu.
Okay,
There's a little bar. There's a slider bar thing you can adjust yourself.
okay, gotcha. Go ahead. I'm still listening, man.
Okay, so neutral good.
Yeah. So, like I say, would neutral good be kind of more like what I described?
I don't know. Can you go into a little bit more detail?
Like I say, he would do some fairly despicable things if it was for the right reason. Say he had to let somebody die. You know, he could save him, but he had to let somebody die because to save more people. Well, then, sorry, but you got to go, kind of thing. You know.
Oh, like he'd let a innocent person die.
Yeah. Right.
Probably more neutral then.
Okay.
Probably more neutral. Um, would he kill an innocent person to um save the masses or whatever?
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably a little bit more on the neutral side.
Okay.
Uh, Good people tend to not be able to make those tough decisions. Uh, and then evil people are like, sure, man, fuck it, I'll kill my own baby, you know,
Yeah.
to
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
save, yeah. So You're probably more on the true neutral side. So true neutral people tend to be just as likely to commit evil as they are good. They are kind of halfway between reliable and unreliable. They'll, follow the team's plans if they think that it'll have the best outcome.
Yeah,
And
they're
then
gonna get something out of it, probably.
That might be a little bit more on the evil side if they think they're gonna get something out of it, but if they think that it's for the best, the best outcome of the group to go along with the group or whatever, then they're probably, I guess.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning more towards just straight neutral then.
Okay. Neutral people will do good things and bad things. They're
Sure.
more like real world people. Most people will do some
Gotcha.
kind of despicable things, especially when it comes to like providing for their kids. Like some people will just straight up, shoot people if they think their kid's gonna miss a meal or like you ever seen Game of Thrones?
I have.
So Ciri or Cersei, Queen Cersei,
Yeah.
she kind of will just do anything, for her kids. It's it's for a good thing because she loves her kids, right? But she does bad things. So love is a good thing, and some of the stuff she did was pretty despicable. So she's kind of in the middle somewhere, kind of like a true neutral character.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. So no kits or anything. Is Catan kind of like an Eastern type of name?
I mean, like Middle Eastern, or to describe Eastern?
Far East.
Oh, not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, he would
What?
be white Anglo-Saxon.
Okay. So that means you are from the continent of Panoplia,
Okay.
which is my sort of like Caucasian continent, I guess you could say. So I have some lore to throw at you here.
Okay. Just like written down somewhere, or is this just something I kind of remember?
It's written down. I just have to get the handout. Okay, Frankus. Save changes. Alright, so here's a little bit about Panoplia.
I like it. It's like a nice place.
Yeah, it's like Western Europe.
Sure.
And if anything kind of sticks out in what you're reading there, let me know. This is for your character's background.
What is the Forever Forest and Castle Downs? What is that?
Forever Forest is a rather large forest that it kind of spans several different regions of the continent. So Panoplia is kind of separated into 7 or 8 different regions, maybe even 9. So there's Central Panoplia, which is a bit like a cross of, I want to say, like Germany on the left side, and on the right side you've got a country that it's like a city-state, and its capital is a lot like Little Italy. It's like a cross of Rome versus and Little Italy. So they have they have a democracy. People talk like they're from Brooklyn. Like their accent is literally like a Brooklyn accent. And there's a lot of like free trade, and people are free. Like there's no slavery per se. There's still indentured servitude, just because people go to jail and work teams are cheap. So indentured servitude is still a thing for people who commit crimes throughout most of Panoplia, but there really is no slavery. There's a lot of mercenaries. There are like paramilitary organizations, sort of like your modern Triple Canopy, Blackwater, guys like that that are used for security reasons, law enforcement, military operations, stuff like that in this country. And then the kind of like on the left side of Central Panoplia, the German type of country is sort of like in turmoil right now. Their royal family was kind of murdered, I guess, and there was one surviving member of the royal family, and she is kind of missing in action right now.
Like exile, or
not exiled, but she she was rescued and teleported away to a place in western Panoplia. And she's kind of recovering from the whole incident right now, and she plans on returning. But her country is basically leaderless, other than a couple of the lords who survived. All of the nobles are dead. The whole royal family is dead. And so, like, the general populace is sort of suffering because of it.
What general area is that you're talking about?
That was central Panoplia. Sorry.
That sounds about.
And then
right there.
In Western Panoplia, it's a lot like Britain. There is a island country that is a lot like a cross of England and Wales, and there's still no firearms there. Firearms haven't quite reached that area of the world yet. By the way, firearms are kind of a big thing in Panoplia right now. But it's mostly in Eastern and Central Panoplia. So
talking about like black powder, cap and ball type of things, or
yeah,
advanced in it?
black powder rifles and pistols.
Okay. Cannons on ships and stuff like that, I'm assuming, or
yes, and then cannons are beginning to be used in land warfare. So that's in Central and Eastern Panoplia, and then in North Panoplia, guns are almost unheard of because there's a sea in between Central and Northern Panoplia, and that's where your northern types live, like Viking types, whatnot. And then in the Northeast is more like a Slavic area, but it is some of it has been conquered by a large force of Orogs that are pretty much like the mutant sons of a fiend, an evil fiend from another world, who mated with... he keeps mating with female orcs to have more and more Orog sons to serve in his little mutant army.
Okay.
And then South Central Panoplia is where Castle Downs is, and Castle Downs is just a broad grassland dotted with the ruins of castles that used to be occupied by the lords of that sort of Italian-like country or Roman country. So that country no longer has nobles or, monarchs of any kind, and all of the lords were killed like long ago in a war, anyways. And the royal family basically was killed by the people, and so there was like political unrest for a long time, and they taught themselves democracy eventually. So that's the very first democratic area of the world in Eastern Panoplia, and Castle Downs is closely connected to that history. And then let's see, the Barricade Mountains kind of separate Panoplia from the like far eastern continent. So there's just a huge mountain range, and then beyond that is basically Middle Age, or I guess like Renaissance, really. China / Japan kind of merged into one country.
So the Barricade Mountains, are they like sheer mountains that prevent people from getting past them, or do people actually traverse these mountains and get to like the Forever Forest, the Castle Downs area, and all that?
There is a trail. There are several mountain passes. The most popular one is actually close to that Roman area. The Roman city-state, or the Roman type city-state. I shouldn't even call it Roman because it's so close to America. I mean, that it might as well be New York City for all intents and purposes. Pretty much, but it's called Gronar, and that's the name of the original capital city when there was a monarchy, and they haven't given up the name. So they could eventually change the name of it to, New Donia, some weird
whatever they want, basically.
Yeah, whatever they want to. But they still have held on to the name of the capital, which is Gronar, and it's really old. I mean, Gronar was in like almost in prehistory. There was a barbarian leader named Gronar who founded the city. It was like one of the first cities in Panoplia, right? And Gronar has there's a trail, or I mean, it's not a road, it's a trail heading east to a little mountain town called Bonneville. It's at the foothills of the Barricade Mountains, and the trail goes up through. It's a mountain pass. There's a pass, and on the other side, in Adria, that's the name of the continent to the east. The first town you get to is Mingdao. So, and it's a huge trade route thing. Like, that's basically Gronar's bread and butter, is trading with Mingdao and the rest of Adria. So a lot of herbs and spices and eastern things come through Gronar, and then Gronar is starting to sell eastern Western weapons. So guns are making their way into Adria, and powder, gunpowder weapons, stuff like that. So, and then see, the continent to the south of Panoplia is called Aperceba, and it is a mixture of the Middle East and Africa, kind of squashed together. And there is one more continent called Etreska. The party has not been there yet. But it is, for all intents and purposes, the Western world. But during the Renaissance. So there are a lot of tribal people that run everything. There's like tent cities, not so much like permanent buildings, other than in the southern areas there might be like stone pyramids that are like temples. But other than that, most of the architecture is very primitive. The people haven't really learned to harness metals very much. Like, there's a few gold mines, but there's no, like, steel hasn't been invented. So most of the weapons are wood, bone, and stone weapons. It's very Stone Age. Very Stone Age. But it's beginning to change because people from Panoplia are sailing there and kind of colonizing the eastern part of it. And they've brought horses and guns and, the Panoplian lifestyle. So it's changing. And that's how the West was won. So
Okay.
that's basically what's going on in the world. So as like an Anglo-Saxon type of person, is he more like a British person, or like a Germanic person, or a Mediterranean person, or what? A northern person?
Okay. So, as far as general area where he's supposed to be from, is
Yeah.
that kind of what you're driving at?
Yeah.
I would say that general area that you described with the displaced queen
Okay.
is over by, I think you said, the Forever Forest.
Well, the thing about the Forever Forest is it is so big, it spans through a lot of the different areas of Panoplia. It's in central Panoplia, eastern Panoplia, northeastern Panoplia, and north central Panoplia. So basically the whole northeast quadrant of the 9 squares, the northeast 4 squares of the continent. That's where Forever Forest is.
So, of those areas where the Forever Forest is at, what general area would the area with the displaced royalty be?
Central Panoplia, definitely. That's called Bryn.
Okay, so that would kind of be, I think, the area that I'd plan him in.
All right. So we've got that settled, and he's more of a Germanic person. You can drop a file from your art library or computer onto your character's avatar whenever you want to.
Is that
I'm
my
gonna-
little mushroom guy there at the bottom, you mean?
So on this character sheet right here that I
Okay.
just showed you, if you click on the edit button in the top left corner where it says avatar,
Got it?
that's where you would put your character's picture. Like your actual photograph picture of what you want your character to look like.
I got him right here, actually. Let's see, double click on it. Does it upload?
You can either click and drag it Actually, you'd have to put it in your library first. You're probably going to want to click on where it says click to upload. Within the little rectangle where it says avatar, there's a button that says click to upload.
Yeah, I got that. Yep.
Yeah, you can pull it from any file on your computer, wherever the photograph is. Or fantasy art or whatever you want.
Okay, I just did that, and I got drop the file from your art.
It might still be uploading into the thing. And then when you're done, click on the save button down at the bottom. Okay, and I'm gonna get you a token.
Oh shit! I just lost. Hang on a sec. Sorry, man. Roll 20 is reloading. I don't know what happened, but
Oh, that's fine. Just let it reload.
your page isn't. This is the same thing I got the first time. This page isn't responding to Orbisolidex roll 20.
Just let
So I'm
it. Just
assuming
don't
do its
anything.
thing.
Yeah, let it do its
Okay.
thing.
Connection to the server has been interrupted. Anything you do right now will attempt. Okay. Okay, got it. It's working again.
Okay.
So, how do I get back to my? Oh, you sent me the character sheet thing. That's what it was. I think you got to send that again.
1 second. Let's see. HP. Alright. Oh, one more thing. On, night vision on. Input. Turtles.
Current story arc.
Okay, so this, for now, is your character token. See
Alright.
him slashing away.
I do.
Alright, so you should be able to left click on that. And it'll bring up a little blue square around him.
A little blue square. I got red dot, green dot, blue dot with a 12 in it.
Yeah, okay.
So I got the gear, the paws. Okay.
You see the little blue square around him with a little stick hanging off of it? Should be spinning right now. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see it. Yep.
Alright, so see the little stick pointing away from him?
Yes.
That's the direction your character's facing. And you can grab that by left clicking on the little square at the end of the stick, and you can turn your character around with that stick.
Got it.
Okay. So now you have your character selected because obviously you can see that stick. So at the top of the screen there should be a bunch of token actions that you can see. One of which should say character creation. So there should be a little button that says character creation. Go ahead and click on that.
You know, there's something. Oh, there. I gotta move that away. Okay. Yep. Okay.
And
One
that
click
just
or single?
one click. That just rolled your stats, your optional traits, and your social rank.
Okay.
And it rolled your birthday as well.
Great.
All right. So
Where
now
do I see those numbers at?
in chat. So you got to click back on the chat tab in the top right corner. Remember, you clicked on My Settings. So now you have to go back to the chat tab. It looks like a little speech bubble in a comic book.
Do I want to go back to roll 20? Is that? No, I'm on roll 20. What am I talking about? Yeah, I got the little word balloons there.
Yeah, you're gonna
It's
want to
down
click
here.
on that. So that's gonna open up chat. And if you
Okay,
scroll,
I see it now.
scroll all
I
the way
got
down.
ability scores.
Yeah, it says character creation, Catan, ability scores,
Yep.
17, 10, 13, 15, 10,
Actually,
15. So those are your
pretty
those are
decent
gonna be your
scores,
stats. Yep. Yeah, pretty decent. All right. So now if we copy and paste those scores just below your stat table. All right, so if you go ahead and click on your character token again, just so you have it selected. It should have a little blue square around it. Okay.
Yep, he's there. Yep.
Hold the shift key. Hold the shift key, and double click your token. And your character sheet should pop up.
There it is.
Okay, so that's a quick and easy way to open up your character sheet. All you have to do is have access to your token.
Okay.
And you can pop up your character sheet. So now you'll notice at the top of your character sheet are 3 tabs. There's a bio and info tab, a character sheet tab, and an attributes and abilities tab.
Right.
So if you click on the character sheet tab, it's going to have all your character sheet information. I already entered your name for you and your class, which is Thief. Your level is 1. You chose not to have a kit, so I put none. You chose your race as human, and your alignment is neutral. Okay, so now if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see your ability scores table. And below it should be a field of notes, and you'll see that I pasted all of your stats into that little field so you can see them
Okay, yeah, I got
for
it.
future reference.
Yep.
Okay, so now you can put your stats into where you want them on your character: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So this is
Okay.
called method 5 character generation. What happened was when you clicked that button, character creation, it rolled 6 stats for you, and the dice roll was 4d6, and it kept the 3 highest out of those 4, okay, and discarded the lowest one.
Okay.
So that's why your stats are pretty decent. They're like
That's-
average
Yeah.
or better.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yep. So-
And then, just so you know, your character class can
Yeah.
get a 10% bonus to experience if you have 16 or higher in dexterity, because dexterity is the prime requisite of the thief class.
Oh, I think I'm gonna. It would seem to make the most sense. I'm gonna put my 17 into that.
So no pressure. If you want to, that's cool.
Oh, that's
I
with that.
recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
right.
that
My bonuses there.
once you finish with that, the optional traits on what you rolled is optional. Obviously, there's an optional gender. I mean, not gender, but sex. And then, being generous and retiring is optional. That's mainly for me when I create NPCs. I use those optional traits.
Yeah, I mean he's whatever. He's a male.
Yeah.
So, well, you want me to plug in stats numbers to these stats here?
Yep. All 6 of those
Okay.
numbers into your stats there.
So,
got-
do I get a bonus at 15 of any kind, or is that just 0?
Like if you had put a 15 into dexterity.
I'm gonna say like Constitution. Do I get an extra hit point or something?
I don't know. Try it. Put in 15 and hit enter and see what happens.
+1 hit point adjustment. Okay, that helps. Into strength, I guess.
That's the beauty of this character sheet. It has
No real bonuses for a 15 strength, I guess, but intelligence. 13 and 10. What's the benefit of wisdom? Where does that come into play?
wisdom is what is protects you from mental, like charm magic. If you have a high enough wisdom, you can get a magic defense bonus, and that gives you a bonus to your saving throws against charm spells and I think maybe some illusion spells. And if your wisdom is super high, it actually gives you immunity to like level 1 level 1 illusions, I think, or like up to level 3 illusions. Like if you had 25 wisdom, I think it gives you like immunity to level 1 through 4 illusions and like a whole bunch of charm spells. Like charm person, you're just completely immune, stuff like that. And then a lot of the nature related proficiencies are linked to wisdom. So like survival, animal training, animal handling, horseback ride, horsemanship, or riding any animal for that matter, is linked to wisdom, and any kind of mount.
Okay, so I put the 10s into wisdom and charisma.
Yeah.
And intelligence is 13. Constitution 15, and dexterity is 17.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Okay. Now, if you go up to your bio and info tab.
Info tab.
Yep.
Okay.
Scroll all the way up. Bio and info, and then click on edit. At the top right there should be an edit button.
Yep.
You're gonna wanna put your birthday in there. And your social rank. You're from the lower class, and you get to choose one of those occupations for your family. So that's the general occupation of what most of the members of your family are. They could be freed slaves, vagabonds, indentured servants, criminals, migrant laborers, beggars, herdsmen, peddlers, actors, men-at-arms, manual laborers, tradesmen, money changers, fishermen, petty officers.
This is under race and clan, or this is under family?
It's under social class. Your social rank is,
okay, I see it.
Lower class.
Slaves, vagabonds, and criminals. Big criminals, I guess.
All right, so like mom and pop were thieves as well, maybe even
likely,
adventurers.
yeah.
Okay. So you see how this really helps with your bio. Now we know who your parents are and what they did.
Status, lower class, I guess.
Status is single, married, divorced.
Oh, okay.
Engaged.
Attached.
It's complicated.
Right.
And then, of course, birth rank is: are you firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn?
I'll make him. He's got an older brother. How about that? Second. Siblings. I'll make them the middle child. They're usually trouble.
Yeah.
So,
And then in siblings, you're going to want to actually name your siblings. So you would put, older brother Charles, whatever your last name is. And if you want to roll a random last name for Panoplian people, I actually have a name generator created for like generic Panoplian names, and it's based on Arthurian names. If you're interested in that, I can show you how to do that.
hang on 1 second here. So right now, I mean, is it like a? I mean, what would the name do for me? I mean, are they my parents known as thieving vagabonds that people are not going to like, or is it going to be, what? Does that just help flesh out the character?
It helps flesh out the character, and you are essentially helping me create NPCs right now.
You see.
So whether they're folk heroes or people that are, bandits that everybody hates is up to you.
I got you.
They could be Robin Hood and Maid Marian for all I care. And if that's what you want your parents to be, they're going to be that.
So where would that go? If you pick a theory name for that, or what?
Oh, what you want the name generator?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're right now we're doing family, base, clan, homeland, that kind of stuff. Where do you get that information from, or do you just make it up?
You're gonna make it up, but do you want random name generator like I was talking about, or what? I don't understand your question.
I guess no, not really. I'll skip the random name generator.
I mean, it's not absolutely random. Like they're gonna sound like pretty good names. I made a pretty good name generator. I'll put it that way.
This would be like a last name though, like the family name.
Yes, there's a name generator for males, one for females, and one for family names.
All right, let's give it a try.
Okay, so before we do that, we're gonna have to go through your height, weight, and age. So if you click on your token again, and then go back to the chat tab. Remember where it said we rolled that thing for character creation, Catan, had your ability scores, optional traits, social rank, and all that.
Do I want to do save settings first, or what do I want to do here?
Yeah, click save, yeah.
Okay, so I'm clicking on my thing. Oh, just a token settings now. Oh, do I hit shift again? Shift?
No, just close your token settings. And you just need to.
You mean just the upper right hand X or cancel or?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And you just click on your token one time. That's it. Okay, and then in. Did you open it? Did you double click it again or something?
Oh, I clicked one time.
Okay, and it didn't open token settings this time, did it?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
I can see my character on the right hand side, but
good. All right, so now in chat, that template that popped up that said character creation, Catan, and had your ability scores and all that. See a little button, the button that says height, weight, age? That's a button in chat. Click on it. It's going to roll random height, weight, and age for you. It should be surrounded by a magenta color, like a pink colored button that says height, weight, age.
I got you. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Click it.
Good.
All right. you have your...
Short.
Did you click on your token first? You gotta click on your token and then click that button again. And it should ask you what your like race and gender, or not, god damn it, not gender, your sex.
Okay.
I'm so stuck on the whole gender thing. It's
Got
not
one
a
click,
gender,
I
it's a
didn't-
sex. So you clicked on
I
the
brought
pink,
up that.
the pink button that says height, weight, age.
Gotcha.
Now it's asking you what your race and sex are, right? If you find human male, should be a drop-down menu. If you find human male,
Yeah, I see high elf male, high elf female. Still, it's not alphabetical. Maybe see.
no, it's not alphabetical.
Half elf. Male,
If you
human
press
male?
yeah, human male.
Submit.
Yep. All right. So you're 71 inches tall. You weigh 174 pounds. You're 19 years old, and you'll live to your 110. All right. So go ahead and click on the character sheet tab of your character sheet. You remember how to open your character sheet, right?
Is that shift click?
Shift, double click.
Got it.
Okay. And then the character sheet tab. Scroll down just below your like name, class, alignment, and then it goes to your armor type. And then right below that is height, weight, age, max age, handedness. You can go ahead and fill those in. Handedness is chosen by you. There is a way to become ambidextrous if you want to fight with two weapons without a penalty. We can go into that later. That option is available to rogues, but it costs proficiency slots.
Page 100. Actually, have to go through.
Your max age is 110.
Handedness. You said it's generally picked for you, or just go right-handed, or
You can go right-handed if you want. If you don't want to be ambidextrous,
I'll go right-handed. What's the benefit of being ambidextrous? Anything?
ambidexterity gives you a benefit to fighting with two weapons. Normally, when you fight with two weapons, you have a -2 to hit with your handed weapon, and a -4 to hit with your offhanded weapon.
Okay.
If you're ambidextrous, you have -2 to hit with both. You have the same penalty.
Okay.
And then there's ways to further cut down the penalty.
Okay, I'm just gonna stick with right-handed then.
All right. Now you'll notice that template also has a button that says Name Generators. So if you click
See a
on
little-
click on Name Generators, it's going to open up the Name Generators menu.
Okay.
And then where it says Panoplians, it goes male, female, and then family.
Okay.
And you can
Click
it
on male.
takes one click and it's going to make a male name. One click on F, it'll make a female name. One click on family, it'll make a family name. And you
I've
don't
already named my.
Yeah, you don't have to use any of the names that you roll. If you want to keep rolling until something cool comes up, go ahead. It's just a name generator. You can use it multiple times. If you don't like
Rough.
if you don't like Turth, there's a space there. I can't get rid of it. But that would be TURTH as the family name. If you don't like that name, you can roll again or just make your own up or whatever. That's a dwarf surname.
I'm gonna go with Turth. That's fine. Where do I plug that in at?
Right after where it says Catan, you'd put space Tirth.
Okay, gotcha.
So it says Catan Tirth. And then back to siblings. You said you wanted siblings. If you want to use the name generator, you can. If you don't want to,
Yeah, I've already named them.
At least we know their last name is Tirth now.
Correct. That would be on the bio, right?
Yep. Bio and info, and then you click edit.
Blank? This is blank now.
You probably didn't click the save button before you.
So let me click on. Oh, edit. Shit. Wait a minute. All right. So February 11th.
Yeah. Okay. A couple things I want to show you about the bio and info page. You'll notice at the top it says available class archetypes. Priest, Psionicist, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard.
Is that attributes and abilities or character sheet or what am I?
Bio and info.
Okay, got it. Oh yeah, I see it. Priest,
Okay.
Psionics, Rogue. Yeah.
Those are handouts for each of those classes. So if you click on the Rogue one, it shows the Rogue handout. It's got the Rogue experience table all the way up to level 30. It's got spell progression for bards, thieving skill base scores, bard abilities, thieving skill dexterity adjustments, thieving skill racial adjustments, thieving skill, for the humanoids, that is. Thief kit adjustments, yada yada yada. And then proficiency slots all the way at the bottom. So that's your go-to for whenever you need to look up anything about the rogue.
When you raise a level for like your thieving skills, where does that show on this thing here, or will it just update automatically?
We'll worry about that later. Let's worry about your bio.
Okay.
All right. So you can see that each of those is a link, right? There's a link to the priest one, Psionicist one, rogue one, warrior and wizard. So the way you generate that link is so you know what proper nouns are? Is the name of a person, place, or thing.
Yeah, sure.
Proper noun.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a proper noun in your bio and info tab, put brackets around it. So, like this. I'll show you in chat. So those are brackets. So you have bracket, proper noun, close bracket, like that.
Gotcha.
So the name of your brother or whatever. What's your brother's name?
I had him on there. I forgot what it is now. I don't remember. I guess it doesn't matter. I remember what it was. So do I type it in here?
No, I'm asking you, what's his name?
It was Hatan.
Your brother's got the same name as you?
Oh, he's Catan. He's Hatan.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Hyton, I guess. Yeah.
H-A-H-Y. Okay. Like this. That's what it would look like. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. It would look like this. Damn it. So when you type your brother's name into your siblings line on your bio, just put
Okay.
brackets around it like that. And that will allow me later on to create a character sheet for Hyton Turth.
Gotcha.
And that line on your siblings part of your bio, you'll be able to click on Hyton Turth and it'll take you to his character sheet.
Okay.
Once I create a character sheet for him.
Oh, I'm trying to. I hit edit. I want to put in that guy's name,
Mm-hmm.
and another screen pops up. So when I hit edit, it says wants to give me the picture down here. Okay, got it. Siblings. Okay, got it.
So Hyton Turth with brackets around it, and then click save.
Save changes. Got it.
No. That's parentheses. You need brackets.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
All right.
They're next to the letter P on your keyboard.
Right.
There you go. And then your other brother or your sister or whatever.
Yes. So do I have to note older brother or on here, or does it matter at this point, or?
It would be nice for me to know. Yeah, that would be good.
I don't need to put that in brackets or nothing. Just
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. Every
I do.
every proper noun. Yeah. So your parents' names, the name of the village you came from, anything like that, you're gonna want to put brackets around it. And of course, you can write your bio and then go back and put brackets around the, proper nouns. That's fine. You don't need a 50-page bio, by the way. It could just be like one paragraph. But at least we know that your parents were thieves, and maybe they taught you how to be a thief. I don't know. That's up to you.
Sure. It's all in the family. Why not?
Mhm, mhm. The family.
Right.
Maybe they're like a Germanic Cosa Nostra type. The Turth mob or
There you go.
something.
I like
yeah.
it.
That's all up to you. If you want to embellish your family like that in your bio, go right ahead, and it's just gonna help me later on when
Hold some things.
when I start making your character the spotlight character, because I give each character them their own story arc. Eventually, when they start getting followers,
Cool.
they get their own little story arc. And I go in order of who joined the group first. So currently we're on Amber's character, and then after that it's going to go to Michael's character, and then it's going to go to Shandrak. I don't know the player's name for Shandrak yet, and then it'll go to your character. Hopefully, after Shandrak's character is done, hopefully your character is high enough to have, followers and all that stuff, and we'll go.
Yeah. What level are the other people in the game by this point?
We'll cover that in character. I
Okay.
think, yeah, in character would be
Coming
better.
in late in the game is all.
Well, the thing is, each one of the players that you're going to be playing with came in a little late in the game is all.
Okay, good.
So they've all been where you're at. All three of the players have been exactly where you're at. They all started at level 1. They all gained basically 1 level per session until they were level 5 or 6, and then it started slowing down. That's the beauty of second edition, there are so many experience bonuses for your class and for role playing and for defeating monsters and this and that and the other that you will gain almost guaranteed 1 level per session until you get to level 5 or 6, and then it starts slowing down. Then it might take 2 or 3 sessions, and then 5 or 6 sessions, and then 9 or 10 sessions, and
yeah, by that time everyone's kind of leveled off a little bit closer. I get it.
Yeah. Eventually you get to a point where everyone's got to earn 200,000 plus experience points to gain a level, and then
right.
Pretty much everyone is kind of back to back. Like there'll be one person that's level 16, one that's 15, one that's 14, one that's 13.
Right.
And just depending on what class you picked, you might eventually catch up to the person at the front, you know. So
it seems like thieves, if I remember on first edition, they progress pretty quick, you know, but they're pretty weak and they're terrible fighters. So
it depends on how you build them. I can make a really good level 1 thief. But that's because I know the little tricks of the, you know, how thief skills work and whatnot.
right.
And actually, I think I could make a better thief mage at level 1 than a thief. Or a mage, for that matter. Thief mage is pretty fucking awesome class. And there's actually one of them in the party. So, but yeah, we won't get into other people right now. We're kind of concentrating on you. All right.
So do I just save these changes then? What I got here
Yeah.
so far?
Yeah. Go ahead and save so I can see them.
Save.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. All right. And then your social class was lower class criminals, and your status is single. I don't know. That's up to you. You could be divorced. You know, for all.
Social class, lower class criminal. Okay.
Yeah, you said you wanted criminals at least. You can change your mind if you want. There's a lot of them
Cool.
to choose from. And we know that your homeland is Bryn, and I'll type that in chat for you. You're going to want to put brackets around it because it's a proper noun. And then, do you want to have a religion? There are quite a few to choose from for humans. It's all based on race.
Well, I mean, is this out of like the old deities and demigods book? Or is there something different that they use on this?
I have a pantheon that I chose from, not deities and demigods, but legends and lore. If there's a god that you like, I can add it to the pantheon if I don't already have a god.
I really
portfolio.
can't think of any, to be honest with you. Whatever you think might be appropriate is fine with me.
So a really common one in the part of the world where you're from is Odin. His religion is pretty cool. You know, he's the god of war and wisdom. There's also Gaia from the Greek. She's more of like a nature deity, and the druids are her priests. So if you want to be involved with, you know, druidic priests rather than war priests, that would be the way to go. Those are the two most common religions, I think, by far. And and Hera also from the Greek.
Hera, was she like a sun god or something?
She's the goddess of marriage, and also uh, her priests are kind of like they kind of have spy powers almost. They have the ability to like detect lies, and then they get clairaudience or something once they get to a certain level. So they're very
All right,
uh,
that sounds like a handy thieving thing.
yeah.
You spell Hera
Hera, yeah, Hera in brackets
bracket
in religion, and then
HERA.
yeah, and then your liege patron um, is kind of subjective. I mean, do you want to be a follower of the surviving princess of Bryn?
Sure.
Okay, so you would be her like loyal subject if you ever met her and all
And
that.
across her,
Yeah.
hoping for her return. Sure.
Okay, so her name is Nina.
Nina.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Princess Nina.
Nina.
There we go. Where's that code?
Then I'm down to status.
Yeah. Are you single,
Oh.
married,
Um.
betrothed?
Unattached, I guess. I bracket that too.
No, that's not a noun. Okay.
Unattached. There. At the moment.
All right. And then, so your race clan is the men of Panoplia. So, M-E-N of Panoplia, like that. And then once you do that, let's see. Yep, family Tirth. Race clan. Homeland was Bryn. Yeah, hit save once you're done. And it should pop up some things. Okay, wow, Princess Nina. I'll give you access to her character sheet. Oh, all players have access. So this is what she looks like. Princess Nina is the daughter of the deceased king and queen of Bryn, which is now known as Arsnoon. Oh, right. That's old. So it was just a little back history of the capital city of Bryn. So it was occupied. There was a military occupation. A priesthood actually took over the city. Kidnapped the royal family and put them into their own dungeon with a minotaur that had been captured recently. Recently, then this is like 5 or 6 years ago in the game, or maybe 2 or 3 actually. So there was an occupation. They renamed the city Arsnuna, and it became basically a military industrial complex city. They enslaved the populace of the city and forced them to manufacture firearms and black powder. And the rest of the country was like like not really connected with the city. The priesthood like fed everyone with magic and whatnot, you know, create food and water spells and all that. And so they didn't need farms or rain or anything. They just used magic to survive. And things got real dark for about a year. And then along came this group of adventurers who basically just infiltrated the city, killed all of the priests, and destroyed the machines that they used to take the city over. And then infiltrated the dungeon and found Princess Nina and extracted her. They found her, basically she was insane at the time from PTSD, and her encounter with the Minotaur. The Minotaur did sexually assault her, and she was with child when the party found her. They killed the Black Minotaur, took her to safety. They cast the heal spell on her to cure her mental illness, okay, because she had severe trauma and PTSD from the whole ordeal. She watched her entire family being eaten by the Black Minotaur, and then she was raped repeatedly over a period of a year, I think. She actually did give birth to a Minotaur who was killed by the player character party, and they found her later on impregnated again. She was actually giving birth to the Minotaur's second son, right? So now the baby has been born in safety, and she actually has kept the child and is raising it as the prince, the actual, heir
to the
throne. Yeah. Although he is a bastard, but she's probably not gonna marry anybody to have an actual
right.
Are
they gonna accept this Minotaur as an heir to the throne?
I mean that's the big issue, and we'll find out in probably about 16 or 17 years in game what happens. So this is the story that's been going on for a really long time. This part of the story happened in 2009, I think. 2009 or 2010. I think it might have been 2010. So it's a really long planned, event. She actually gave birth and all that, and is raising the child. He's about a year old now. And the thing about Minotaurs is they reach the age of maturity really fast. I think it's by like the age of 6 or something. They are an actual fully grown adult. And so, we'll see. Like maybe eventually the royal family of Brynn could be Minotaurs that rule humans. Who knows?
So would my character be aware of this? That there's a little bull child kind of roaming around out there?
Okay, so it's not roaming around out there. She gave birth in to they call him the Minocaf. The Minocaf. In a place called Farzak Lode, which is the stronghold of Thrasham Mai, the dwarf priest. He was the de facto leader of the group of adventurers that rescued her. And his plan eventually was to restore her to her throne. But the people are kind of like in turmoil right now. And the city is kind of fucked up because the way that they had to attack it and the machines that the priesthood used, a lot of the fortifications have been destroyed, like the wall around the city. There's like big holes blown out of the wall from like actual beam weapons, like laser beams weapons, from these machines that they used. And like there were a lot of explosions that happened in the city from their machines and whatnot. And then also the people who lived there, a lot of them are mental now, and there's a lot of guns everywhere. So you know, they never, once they left the city, they never went back. So they never really found out exactly what happened to the city. So your character could come from that aftermath, if you want, and I can tell you a little bit about what happened if you want to be from the city. If not, you could be from like the outskirts, and you could have been, you know, one of the people that you know was like, oh shit, have you heard the capital was taken over? And then you would hear news about, um, you know, the people aren't allowed to leave the city, and there's these new soldiers who are actually loyalists of the priesthood, and like this, that, and the other. And there's guns all over the place, and they're selling guns to make money, and all that stuff. And
Yeah, I'd be more akin to being like the guy from the outskirts that would kind of have
okay,
seen things change.
yeah, all right. So you could be from like maybe the farmland around the capital city, maybe.
Okay.
And so what actually happened was, once the adventurers left the city, most actually during the attack, most of the people that were in the city left. They fled, like during the attack. There were a few who stayed, that were like they went into hiding, mostly for greed purposes, so that they could capitalize on the fact that there are so many guns, you know, or there were so many guns still in the city. So then you had there were gun runners and gun smugglers and stuff like that, and a lot of them were really bad people because of the ordeals that they went through, and all the things they saw, and it kind of turned, you know, it made them kind of rotten inside. And so there's like some pretty bad gang stuff going on in the city now, because there's no authorities, there's nothing. It's just people who stayed behind to make money off of the aftermath. And so it's kind of like gang versus gang. It's like gangland with no cops. No cops and no mom to tell, you know, the son, like, you need to get out of the gang. So there's dudes shooting each other all over the place. There's, you know, it's like a year later and they're still looting. Like, people are like loot people's houses and stuff. And of course, most valuable objects have already been looted. So now there's people looting other people's loot, right?
Sure.
So yeah, just imagine like Lord of the Flies situation. Total Lord of the Flies situation. You've got your like warlord dudes that are in charge, and all their little sycophant follower fuckers, and then anyone who's a weakling is cast aside, killed, you know, whatever. It's like
Survival of the fittest. Guys.
survival of the fittest. Like a prison just opened up for business. And you've got the Crips and the Bloods and the Yakuza and the Cosa Nostra, and they're all doing their own thing. So, but it's Germanic people, so imagine Germanic type of culture sinking into that. So you've got like you know, dudes named Hans and Franz that are gangsters, rather than Robert and Jamal, or Tony and you know, Uncle Tony.
And Rocco, yeah.
Yeah, and Rocco,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
So that's Bryn in a nutshell.
Okay.
There would be a lot of work to do if that's something that your character wants to do. Like, maybe take over gangland, you know, and clean the town up, you know, from the inside out, kind of thing. Out guild the guilds.
Turn them against each other, right?
Yeah, or yeah, even turn them against each other or something like that. But that's far down the road.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we've got Princess Nina, and you're one of her loyal followers deep down, which is nice.
I don't know if I can follow the whole calf boy.
Oh
I
yeah,
might be into that.
yeah. If that's something that you wouldn't be into, maybe your liege patron would be one of the warlords or something, you know, that runs the city. If you want.
I could sort of see that, and like I say, I mean, honestly, I think if we found Nina and she had this little calf child, I don't know, I don't think I'd be down for that, man. Can't see myself being led by a case of minotaurs.
Yeah. So maybe you don't want Princess Nina to come to power.
Well, maybe I don't. Now that you put it that way.
Okay, so you can make up the name of some kind of, you know, Germanic mob boss that is your liege patron. Maybe that's even your dad. Maybe you're the son of one of the mob bosses in the city. And
yeah, okay, like a lieutenant that might have been on his way up. Sure.
yeah. Or maybe your mom is one of the mob bosses.
So let's see here. Edit.
Or a
I'm
lieutenant.
Gonna edit Nina out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, get rid of that. I guess I edit on there and get rid of her.
So now that we know, go ahead.
I say so. I need to create a mob boss character.
Just the name.
Name.
Just the name, and I'm gonna create him. So you're like I said, you're basically helping me create NPCs right now.
Got it. Here he comes. Ready? A little bit like a Klingon, but we'll go for it.
Garoth. Nice.
Unless you got I'm cool with a better name. I just kind of, I don't know.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I can do a lot.
He was a villain in one of my old games that I used to have.
Yeah, this actually, I mean, now there's a pattern. We've got Catan, Garoth. You know,
right?
You're kind of
all in the family, man.
Yeah. Okay, and then oh, now that we know what kind of scum background you come from,
Yes.
do you want to be like a thug type of thief? Because there are kits that might interest you if you actually want to develop this side of your character. One of the cool things about thugs too is you get I think it's a free weapon slot at level 1, and you can choose any weapon, not just thief weapons, but any weapon. So that could really beef up your backstab potential too.
Sure, thuggery sounds good.
I will. I'm gonna give you a link in the Discord to a website called Purple Worm. Are you familiar with Purple Worm?
Actually, I've heard of it. I've never even seen it.
Okay, so it's just in the general text channel.
See it there. It just disappeared though. Wait a minute.
The link disappeared.
You were there a second ago. I saw your picture and I saw the link, and now it's.
Oh, click on the Solnod Hex channel on the left side. It should look like a red circle.
Oh.
And then where it says text channels, click on general.
You're getting ahead of me here. I'm looking for that red circle for the Solodex.
Sonot Hex.
And yeah, I'm on roll 20, but I don't see.
No, I'm talking about Discord. I'm talking about Discord.
Oh, let me go to that then.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so that it's not all of the core books for second edition. It's missing I think it's missing the Ninja's Handbook and the Humanoid's Handbook. But other than that, it's all of the core books.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if you heard about it, but back in like 1993 or something, they published a CD-ROM. TSR published a CD-ROM that had all of the then core books on it. This is the database version of that CD-ROM.
Jeez.
And
Okay, cool.
so you see what I mean by database? Like it has every single blurb from all those books is in here. So
I see the one Thief's Handbook. Got it.
yeah, if you go to Thief's Handbook and then go to Thief Kits, and then down at the bottom there's a folder that says Thief Kits again, and it has a list of the. If you open it, it has the list of the Thief Kits. In my opinion, Thug is fucking awesome, because they get the same skill points as a regular thief. But they also get, so it says Thug should be physically imposing as possible. Furthermore, his intelligence may be no higher than 12, and I think didn't you put like a 10 or something in intelligence? Yeah, so you can't be too smart. Oh no, you put a 13 in intelligence. If you switch wisdom, if you switch either wisdom or charisma with your intelligence, you'll be fine.
All right, I'll switch that. Here. Okay, so let me go back to that then. 2E rules. And I want to go back to my character sheet.
Hopefully you opened a new tab for that purple worm.
Good.
Okay. So thugs are exactly what it sounds like. They're basically like a gangster. And it says outside of a thieves guild, the thug really does not have a place. Most thugs haven't the wit to become accomplished burglars or even pickpockets of their own, let alone swindlers, spies, or fences. Even begging might be denied them on account of their imposing physique. They usually have an imposing physique. A plea for alms from a huge, muscular man tends to be more like a demand backed up by a thinly veiled threat. The guild pays them well and gives them a satisfying job. They usually need just to scare the living daylights out of people and not even face real combat. Non-weapon proficiencies required is intimidation. You have to be able to intimidate people, which is charisma. Charisma one. Charisma and strength. I'm sorry. Charisma and strength, depending on
13 into charisma and 15 in strength. So
yeah. So there are two different ways to intimidate people, either by charisma or strength. The strength one is more physical, like you threaten them with physical violence, and because of your strength, you look big and scary, and they are inclined to do what you say. The charisma one is more subtle. It allows you to intimidate people through subtle ways, like actually
I
running
wouldn't.
approaches on them and gaining their what's the word? The respect, I guess. Yeah.
So with the charisma, would be more along. It would be more along the lines of. Well, you wouldn't want something bad to happen now, would you? Kind of thing.
Kinda like that.
No. Nothing
Yeah.
to happen to your little girl who goes to school.
Indirect.
At, you know.
Yeah. And then the thug's equipment usually consists of the biggest, most intimidating weapon available. Otherwise, it's a matter of common sense according to the job. A kidnapper, for example, could make good use of a rope to bind his victim. Special benefits: because they're better trained in combat than other thieves, thugs receive a +1 on their to-hit rolls. So for every weapon, you just get a +1 to hit.
Oh,
And it's not just weapons either. It's all of your to-hit rolls. You get a +1. So it's
rocks, chairs.
it's like it's like having strength 16 automatically. You get a +1 to hit on strength 16, right? I think it's no 16. 16 you get a +1 to damage. 17 I think you get a +1 to hit. So it's like you get the automatic +1 to hit from having strength 17, and it stacks with your strength too. So, and then weapon proficiencies. Thugs are permitted an extra weapon proficiency slot at first level. They may choose non-thief weapons, but to gain proficiency in one requires an extra slot. So you pretty much the penalty for becoming proficient with a non-thief weapon is 1 extra weapon proficiency slot. They cover that. So pretty much at first level, you can use one of your thief slots, essentially, thief weapon slot, to choose a non-thief weapon, which in terms of like backstabbing, depending on what weapon you choose, could really beef up the amount of damage that you can do eventually when your backstab modifier starts going up, because at level 1 your backstab modifier is only ×2, and then it goes up by 1 for every 3rd level after level 1. I think it's every 3rd level. No, it's every 4th level after level 1. So at level 5, it turns to ×3. And then at level 9, it goes to ×4. And at level 13, it goes to ×5. And if you chose something like a really big ass warrior weapon, like a two-handed sword or a two-handed axe or a gun for that matter, which some of the guns do D12, and there's a 25% chance that you roll another D12, and then another 25% chance, and then another D12. So I think it's the flintlock musket does a D12 damage, and there's 25% chance of damage explosion or whatever, where the die gets rolled again. And if you incorporate your backstab modifier into that, you could end up doing 70, 80, 90 damage from one shot. So I've never seen it.
Adds up in a hurry.
Yeah, I've never seen it done before, but I have had a player start a character that he designed to do that. He actually picked one of the pistols. I think it was there's a Magnum pistol called, it's a horse pistol. It does like D10 damage, and there's a 25% chance with each damage die roll that you roll another die. Same thing as the flintlock musket. And he would backstab with it, and sometimes he would do like 30 damage, 40 damage, and that was with like the ×3 modifier, and you can go up to ×5 at level 13. So just imagine.
Yeah, it sounds like it adds up in a hurry.
Pretty, yeah. You have the opportunity to do some pretty sick damage, and even with the more traditional weapons, like, you know, a two-handed sword, that stacks up in a hurry too, because, you know, against large creatures, a two-handed sword does 3d6 damage, and at level 5 at ×3, if you end up rolling, you know, 6s on the 3d6, that's 18. At level 5, when you have the ×3 backstab modifier, 3 times 18, that's 30 and 20, 54 damage.
Yeah.
At level 5. Whoa, to a large creature.
Kill almost everything.
Yeah. So
let's see here. What do we got left to cover here?
For your bio, so now we know you're a thug. So for your appearance, you know, you could write out a kind of a thuggish appearance, and if you wanted to go, you know, the big sword route or the big axe route or the gun route or, you know, the rifle route or whatever, you could kind of add that into your description. I was going to change your kit to thug real quick. If so, you want what? Where it says character sheet, the character sheet tab. It's right under class. Now it says thief thug.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Back.
Oh, okay. To compensate for the extra weapon proficiency slot and combat bonus, a thief of the thug kit has only 40 points to distribute initially among his thief skills, although he can still put up to 30 of them in a single ability if he so chooses. So you only lose 20 skill points at level 1 for having any weapon and a +1 to your 2 hit rolls, which is pretty damn good. Normally thieves get 60 discretionary or skill points at level 1, but a penalty of 20 that's nothing. And you still get 30 points every level, like a normal thief. Or, sorry, not a normal thief, but a thief without a kit. You still get 30 per level. So eventually you're going to have, like, over 100 thief points, or skill points in each of your thief skills anyways.
Okay. What do we got left? Let's see.
So, yep, there you go. That's it.
Or
and then now your bio, so we know where your, you know, parents are from, and, you know, how they raised you. Was one of your parents, like, or maybe both your parents, did they apprentice you as a thief? Or was it like their boss, Goroth, who apprenticed you as a thief? That's all up to you. And you don't need a super long bio, just like one paragraph ish.
Okay.
If you want to keep it short and sweet, and then you can go longer than that if you want. And then of course any uh, 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 nouns, proper nouns, just put in some brackets around it.
Okay. Let's see. I have to create that right now. I hadn't even really had a lot of time to think about it, but
Yeah, should be pretty easy. I mean, we know where your parents are from, kind of how they raised you. We know you're from the outskirts of the capital city of Bryn, which, by the way, is probably still known as Ars Nuna. So I'll put that in chat here. Ars Nuna. Because no royal family has returned yet to rename it Bryn.
let's see.
Wait, I thought your name was Frank.
It is.
Okay. You
Oh,
put.
what did you see?
Well, you put player's name Catan.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. I can change that. Other sub-
This is the part where you want to name your parents.
Hmm. Um.
So this is all going to make the choices for actually creating the rest of your character, like the mechanical stuff. This is going to make that much easier because your choices, a lot of them will have already been made. I think you're going to be pretty happy that you raised your charisma score later, because it's really hard to make friends with even like a average charisma. And you'll see what I mean by that later. Because I allow people to recruit henchmen.
Okay, so I don't know the political landscape of your world here, but I said his father and his mother are thought to be hunted by neighboring kingdoms due to the political, I don't know what you want to call it, upheaval of the area, or
Yeah, that's a good word to use.
okay,
Or unrest.
unrest. I like that. All right, try this. Here it comes. Save changes.
Okay, let's see.
Just totally off the cuff. So
Bilth and Mother Kalshron.
yes, I think I said life, but whatever you want to call them is fine.
Okay. Let's edit that a little bit. And make it what do you call them? Complete census. So let's see.
Okay.
Catan is the middle child of 3. Period. His parents were lower class. Okay, mid-level operatives of mid-level gangsters. Gangster, or how about enforcers? Yeah, mid-level enforcers. Enforcers of the oops. The crime boss, known as Koroth. Period. His other siblings were somewhat displaced when Bryn apostrophe S political upheaval occurred. Bryn's royal family was killed. Royal family. No, when Bryn was occupied by the priesthood of the bracket duality of the wheel, which I'm going to need to give you access to. So his other siblings. Okay. Okay. Katan's parents were also displaced in the occupation and were forced to fend. Oh, he okay.
Who was for yeah.
And he was forced to fend for himself and seek adventure. Okay. His father, you said Blythe?
You'll change that.
No. Don't edit. Click cancel.
Okay.
Click cancel.
Okay. We'll click.
Because if you edit, it's gonna undo my editing.
Okay.
I'm editing right now.
Okay.
So Blythe and mother Calshron. His father Blythe and his mother Calshron are thought to be hunted by neighboring kingdoms. Neighboring kingdoms, let's see, by I guess Gronar.
Rival factions? I don't know.
Neighboring kingdoms hunted by Gronar is probably the closest kingdom, neighboring, or not kingdom but country, due to political unrest that has recently occurred. Blythe's mother Calshron are thought to be are thought to be hunted. Blythe, or sorry, Katan's father believes, or sorry, Katan believes his father Blythe and his mother Calshron are being hunted by Gronar due to political unrest that has recently occurred. Yeah, I guess. Alright. And I'll give you access to the duality of the wheel and Gronar. Okay, so edit. Frank S. Save changes. So this is the handout for the religion known as the duality of the wheel, whose priests took over the capital of Bryn and caused all
Chaos
this.
symbol.
Yes. And then Gronar. And I don't understand why Gronar would be hunting them, but I guess that's something I'll clear up later. Frank.
Maybe they committed some crimes over that away, you know, and they're.
And here's Gronar. Okay, so you've been playing D&D for a long time, yeah?
Not recently. I mean, it's been years since I've played. I used to play first edition. You know, honestly, probably 20 years ago, man. I've played a couple pickup games here and there, but that's about it.
Have you ever heard of an artifact called the Mighty Servant of Luco?
I have not.
Okay. So the Mighty Servant of Luco is a... basically, it's a big mech. Like the
Robotech thing?
Yeah, like a Robotech mech thing. It's from Greyhawk. It's from the world of Greyhawk. What's the name of the guy that wrote all the Blackmore stuff? There was Gary Gygax, Nathan Arneson, and Blackmore. Is it Dave Arneson? No. It originally evolved in the early 1970s as the personal setting of... It is Dave Arneson's setting. Okay, Blackmore. All right, so Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax, they played a lot of D&D together. And Gary Gygax's world was called Greyhawk. Dave Arneson's world was called Blackmore. And they ended up playing more in Gary Gygax's world than in David Arneson's world. So what they did eventually was they made Blackmore a country in Gary Gygax's world. It's a place in the world of Greyhawk. Okay. In the history of Blackmore, there was a warlord or a king or something named, or maybe he was a wizard, named Lum. He was called Lum the Mad. And he had a servant named, he had a retainer named Luco, like one of his knights or whatever. And he built a machine called the Machine of Lum the Mad that was basically like a telephone operator's switchboard. Looks just like a telephone operator's switchboard. And it had like wires you could pull out and plug in different spots and like little levers and knobs and shit. And it would cast weird spells for every little, not every little combination, but it took weird little combinations of wires and switches and buttons to cast really powerful spells. Like basically all the spells in the book are, he was able to cast them with this artifact called the Machine of Lum the Mad. And he became really good at making machines. So he eventually, for his retainer, he made a machine called the Mighty Servant of Luco, and it was like a mech warrior type thing. And eventually, Luco kind of stopped following Lum the Mad and started fighting against him. Like they started butting heads and stuff. And so Luco and Lum the Mad would fight each other with these artifacts that Lum created. And so those are two like really huge artifacts from the world of Greyhawk, but they also have been incorporated into regular D&D through the Book of Artifacts. I don't know if you ever read that. It's a 2nd edition book. But it has stuff like the Dragon Balls. Like, you've heard of a cartoon called Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's basically the Dragon Balls from the original Dragon Ball cartoon are a thing in Dungeons and Dragons. And you can, when you get all 7, Dragon Balls, you can cast spells and wishes and all this weird shit. And then there's stuff like, Excalibur, I think, is one of them, from Arthurian legend. And then there's weird shit like mechanical bird, and there's all these different artifacts from this book. So I chose one of probably the coolest artifact I thought was in the book was the Machine of Lum, or not the Machine of Lum the Mad, but the Mighty Servant of Luco. It's like mech warrior mechs. So this priesthood, they worship duality of gods. One god is a god of magic, one god is a god of machines, and both of these gods were killed. And I don't know if you are familiar with the death of gods and stuff in D&D, but they say when gods die, their bodies are cast into the astral plane, and they turn to stone, and they float through the astral plane for eternity. And God's bodies are huge. They're like 50 feet tall or 100 feet tall or whatever. So there's these huge statues floating through the astral plane. And these two statues collided. One was a dead god of magic, and one was a dead god of machines. And when they collided, there was a spark of life that was ignited between them, and the gods came back to life. But only insofar as they stay in bodily contact with each other. They have to always touch. And that's supposedly one of the ways to kill this god, is to separate the two gods from each other, right? But they have a cult that is basically people who are creators of magical machines. So this priesthood built 8 mighty servants of Luco, and they marched them halfway across Panoplia. They went through Gronar on their way to the capital city of Bryn, and it was a couple thousand miles, and it was actually a trek that was followed by some player characters. They actually followed them. And once they got to Bryn, they ransacked the capital, killed off any kind of resistance, just shot them with like laser beams and weird shit, and stormed the castle. They kind of used like weird jetpack technology to just go right over the castle walls into the courtyard, and kill all the soldiers that were there. And they kidnapped the royal family. They burst through the walls of the castle into the king's court in like the middle of the day, and took the whole court hostage, killed off all the nobles, put the royal family in prison, and that's how they did it, by using machines and guns and shit like that. So that's the duality of the wheel in a nutshell. They still have they left a cult behind. The priest did. All the original priests are dead, but there's still like cult priests or whatever that are kind of gaining power and stuff like that. So they still have worshippers and all that. It's not super popular anymore like it was when when Ars Nuna was still occupied and everything, because the priests basically forced everyone in the city to worship the gods, the duality of the wheel. So it's like a magic technology cult. It's weird. So that's that. And then Gronar is that place that's kind of like Rome, that has a lot of what's it called? Mercenaries. A lot of mercenaries. They're ran by a senate rather than any monarchs or nobles, and that's how the country makes its decisions, with through debate, and they have elected senators and all that stuff. And currently, their main group of mercenaries is called the Iron Star Mercenary Company, and they take care of all of the law enforcement and most of the military, like defense of the country. The defense.
Is it kind of a corrupt area though, or is it? I mean, is it lawless? Kept in check by these mercenary guys.
It is corrupt in the sense that for some reason Senator Lucius is the most outspoken senator, and also the city of Gronar itself, like the actual city, the senators don't have as much power as the well, there is a thief gang there, and the thief gang is led by a guy known as the boss. Well, everyone knows he's in charge. All the people know that he's in charge, but no one can prove anything, so they can't make an arrest because he leaves his lieutenant to do all of the bookkeeping, and he's basically like an untouchable Godfather type of character. So he just kind of walks around town, talking to all like the merchants and stuff, and they give him, a free apple. Oh, boss, here's a free apple. Bless you, God bless you.
Yeah,
like,
patronage.
yeah. And so he just walks around town, and the people kind of kiss his ass, and he kind of keeps the guild in check. He keeps the Iron Star Mercenary Company in check. He keeps the senators in check, and he's a crime lord, but he's kind of like the people's leader or whatever. And actually, what's behind the story is his family were actually nobles back in the day. Before all the nobles were killed and everything. So his family is one of the noble families that survived, and there are a few people who still kind of recognize him as a noble, even though they have this whole democracy thing going on, and so that's why he's more privileged and all that as a crime lord rather than a tax-paying citizen or whatever. But yeah, he's untouchable, and they say that he's really the one in charge. But the truth is, it's kind of a balance between him and law enforcement and the Senate and this other faction called the Guild, which is kind of like a better business bureau. So I'm not really sure why they would be hunting your parents, but we can come up with something like maybe your parents tried to do some crime business.
Yeah, they tried to knock off some important person over there.
And the boss got wind of it, and now he's kind of manipulating the Iron Star Mercenary Company somehow to hunt down your parents or something. So,
or maybe the parents actually didn't do it, but they think they did. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe they were framed. There's always that. Maybe they were framed by the boss. Hey.
Everybody needs a fall guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my hit points here. We didn't do hit points for my guy yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Everyone starts. So that's one of my house rules. Everyone starts with a full hit die. So at level 1. We're going to put you to 6.
Okay.
You have 6.
And, can I get a +1 or something for something?
Con? Yep, you get 6.
7.
+1. So 7. 7. Okay.
And anything for thuggery on that, or is that doesn't matter?
No, the thugs don't get extra hit points or anything. Okay. So next we'll scroll down to past your weapon table. We'll go to your thief skills. Okay. So thugs get a normal thief base, but at level 1 they only get +40 points instead of +60. So rogues normally have 15% pickpockets base, 15, whoops, and then 10% open locks base. Find remove traps is 5.
You're doing that, okay.
Yeah, move silently is 10. Hide in shadows is 5. detect noise 15, and climb walls 60 for thieves. Okay. You're human, so your race isn't gonna change anything. Your armor will change something, but we'll purchase armor later. And then for level, the column that says level, you're going to want to add 40 discretionary skill points for level 1, but no more than 30 in any one skill.
Level, okay.
Yeah, under
So
the level column.
So, say that again. What do I do for level?
You get 40 skill points.
Just allocate wherever I want.
Yeah. And
Not-
go ahead.
Not more than how much in each thing?
No more
One
than
thing?
30 in any one skill.
So I have 40 points to play with?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you want to be good at combat stuff, the way I run backstabs is a little easier than what most people are used to. So in like first edition D&D, pretty much the only time a thief would ever get a backstab in is during a surprise round, pretty much. Like if you actually surprise the enemy, then the thief would be able to get a backstab in. And other than that, basically the rules were like, fuck you, you're never going to be able to do a backstab unless it's a surprise
Because you
round.
kind of had to surprise them otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the way I do it, so in second edition, the rules for hiding in shadows say that you can hide in shadows as long as you're in an area where you have cover or concealment. So all you have to do in combat, you could be, in combat with 20 orcs and there's, 5 player characters. All you have to do to hide in combat is go take cover or concealment in something. So you could run into a bush and take concealment because in a bush you are harder to see, right? Once you get into the bush, you're then eligible to roll for hide in shadows, which essentially makes the enemies lose track of your character's position. Like if you've ever seen somebody while camping or something, kind of run around the backside of a bush and then you don't see them anymore.
Yep.
Like that's how it happens. Okay, so and then taking cover is a little different. Cover is actually hiding, like putting your body behind a physical object to where they can't actually see you. So like you can take cover behind a door or like flip up a table and take cover behind a table, okay? Once you actually take cover from somebody, then you are eligible to roll to hide in shadows for them to lose track of your position. All right. The rules for in my campaign, anyways, for hiding in shadows, is that when you hide in shadows, your turn is over when you attempt it. Okay, whether you're successful or not, if you try to hide in shadows, your turn is over. And what that does is it basically makes it so that you can't backstab every round unless you actually kill your target. So if you were to backstab somebody, right, say you got the drop on somebody or you hid in shadows or something, if you were backstabbing with like say a longsword or something, you were rolling move silently to get closer to your target, closer and closer and closer, and you finally get to your target, you backstab them. if they have so many hit points that you didn't kill them with your backstab, then of course they know you're there, right? Because you just backstabbed them. So
Makes
now your cover's blown, all right, and you have to start over, hiding in shadows. Okay, go find cover or concealment. All right, hide in shadows, start over again, and then slowly work your way up to them again.
Yeah, be ready
using
to do it again.
yeah to using move silently as you move, because when you move silently, you only move at 1/3 your normal movement rate. Because in my campaign, that's actually published rules. You move 1/3 your movement rate when you move silently, and the reason for that is because you are crawling, crouching, like moving up slowly, sneaking or whatever. Usually it's crawling though, to get up to your enemy without them noticing you. And
Okay.
that's why you move so slow, because you're crawling or whatever, and trying to stay out of their field of vision while moving quiet enough to where they don't notice you and like turn their head or something.
Okay.
Hopefully. So your ability to sneak up on somebody has nothing to do with how observant they are. It has everything to do with how good you are at moving silently and hiding in shadows. Your percentage. That's what determines how successful you are. Okay? So that being said, if you want to be good at combat, you're going to want to be good at moving silently and hiding in shadows so that you can get backstabs. Because backstabs are the bread and butter of thief combat. And
Let's see here.
eventually, in 2nd edition D&D, because of their ×5 backstab modifier, eventually it's the thieves that are the DPS characters, the damage per second characters. They're the ones that do the most damage. Eventually. Because one of their attacks is worth 5 attacks. Because you're doing ×5 damage, right? So, and if you manage to kill your target, as long as you didn't shoot them with a gun or do something loud to kill them, you are still undercover. Still hidden, yeah. And how it works out is you snuck up to them, you stuck your blade in or whatever, and you were able to, cover their mouth or whatever as they died, and you kind of slowly drop them down, and then you move on to the next guy, right? So that's how stealth works in my campaign. If you actually take cover or concealment, then you can roll for hide in shadows. Your turn is over. Then the next round you start rolling move silently to get closer and closer. So that's for melee weapons though. You can also backstab with ranged weapons. Okay. Thief, I allow backstabs with any weapon you're proficient with. Right? So normal thief weapons are longsword, short sword, dagger, knife, club, short bow, and I think sling. So you have to be proficient with a weapon that you use to do a backstab. That's my only little caveat to, because I think in 1st edition you had to use weapons that you can conceal. So you had to have like daggers and knives and shit like that. But in 2nd edition they have no such rule. It's just whatever. And I don't really like the idea of someone being able to backstab with a weapon that they're not proficient with. Like, you got to be able to be kind of good with the weapon to get their, lungs to pop their lungs or pop their heart.
Yeah, sure. It's something
Whatever.
you would have practiced with, sure. So.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the beauty of the thug, is because they can pick any weapon at level 1. You get 1 extra slot for 1 weapon. It's like your get out of jail free card at level 1. And that kind of makes you really fucking good at killing shit later on. Because your damage potential by being able to choose any weapon, it's way above and beyond. Because normally pretty much the best backstab weapon for a normal thief is the longsword, and it's only against large creatures, because you get a D12, right, against large creatures with a longsword. Longsword is a D8, D12. D8 is like the end-all, be-all against medium creatures, if you're a regular thief. But if you had a two-handed sword, then medium creatures you're doing a D10, large creatures you're doing 3d6, and it's multiplied by your backstab modifier.
Gotcha.
So,
all right.
So you've got your 25, 30, 40. All right, and then we're gonna scroll down to proficiencies and languages. So, rogues at level 1 get 2 weapon proficiency slots and 3 non-weapon slots. And normally you would also get a free language without spending any slots. In my campaign, in this campaign we use a optional rule where you add your character's number of language slots from intelligence, which for you is 2, to your initial non-weapon slots. But your native language you have to purchase with a proficiency slot. So for you, that's common. So basically, one of those number of language slots is chosen for you just by being human. But you still get another free slot. So there's that. So we're going to make...
So under languages, I put common.
Yes, common tongue. And then hit
And
enter.
then one other one?
Well, one other slot, which could be another language. But as a human, the only languages that are available to you are common and whatever languages the DM says are available to you. In your region of the world, I'm going to say Elvish is available, but that's it. And that's because there is a country of elves that is so close to Bryn. It's like, man, I want to say like 100 miles away.
Okay.
So if you want Elvish, you can do that.
Okay.
And
Plug that in for Elvish.
yeah, those are the only 2 languages you can ever learn until you raise your intelligence further. So just be aware.
What about weapon proficiency?
Okay, you get a free weapon slot for any weapon of your choice, and if it is a it says thugs are permitted an extra weapon proficiency slot at first level. They may choose non-thief weapons, but to gain proficiency in one requires an extra slot. Oh, okay. You can choose. You're not limited to thief weapons at all. You at any time you can take non-thief weapons, but it takes an extra slot to get them. And at level
Okay.
1, you're granted an extra weapon slot. So you actually
So
have
I would-
3 slots.
It's a long sword, short bow, and sword,
Say again.
long sword,
Longsword. That's 1.
okay, short bow.
That's another 1. You only have 3.
Yep.
And non-thief weapons cost an extra slot.
So those non-thief weapons, the long sword and the
No, longsword,
bow?
longsword and short bow are thief weapons. The list of thief weapons is let's see, player's handbook, classes, rogue, thief, and find weapon. Club, dagger, dart, hand crossbow, knife, lasso, short bow, sling, broadsword, longsword, short sword, and staff. Those are the thief
one.
weapons.
go with a knife.
Oh, you're not going to take... Okay.
Oh, you were going to say not going to take what?
Non-thief weapon.
Well, I don't know what it would be. I mean, I got the long sword, short bow, got that covered. I mean, what would be a not even like an axe or something like that?
Depends on what type of damage you want to do. That's
Okay,
all
so
up
I
to
mean,
you. If you don't...
Long sword's a D8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The,
fine. I'll stick with that.
Okay. And then you have 3 slots for non-weapon proficiencies. And some of the proficiencies take more than 1 slot. Thieves are able to choose from general and thief proficiencies.
Okay, so like, what would those be exactly?
It's in the player's handbook under chapter 5 proficiencies, and then you go down to non-weapon proficiencies 2, or Roman numeral 2, so II, and then table 37 non-weapon proficiency groups.
Okay. And we'll do animal handling. Oh, animal handling would be what exactly? Would that be...
It's your ability to get like livestock to do what you want them to do.
versus animal training?
Animal training allows you to you choose one category of animals, and you're able to choose like dogs, for instance, or birds or something, and you're able to train members of that category slowly, and it's
Oh,
based
if you
on
wanted to have like a...
wisdom, which, you know,
Not the greatest, but yeah.
yeah, we talked about wisdom.
Oh, if I wanted to have like a hawk or something at some point that could train to attack people or animals or something, so it would be animal training or animal handling.
Animal training, birds.
I only picked one thing. Opposed to animal handling. That
Animal
would be-
handling is says proficiency in this area enables a character to exercise a greater than normal degree of control over pack animals and beasts of burden.
Animal training.
That's animal handling.
I'm gonna go with animal training though.
Okay. So animal training and then parentheses bird space 1 And the check is based on wisdom. Which your wisdom is.
I'm gonna go with canine, I think, instead of bird.
So dog or wolf, your choice.
Oh, I guess dog.
Or fox. I guess there's different kinds of foxes.
All right, there.
Okay. And we'll trade.
How many slots do I get?
3. And that's based on wisdom. So. And yeah. And you're going to be really bad at that because your wisdom is 10. Your good stats are strength, dexterity, and constitution. And kind of charisma.
Yeah, but I mean, they got like singing and seamstress, dancing.
Yeah, but that's only general. Look at the thief skills, or the rogue proficiencies. You got ancient history, appraising,
okay.
blind fighting, disguise, forgery, gaming, gem cutting, juggling,
See, my
jumping.
intelligence is crappy too. Okay, disguise, that's a good one.
Set snares is based on dexterity, and as a thief, you can make man traps with set snares. Stuff like, tiger pits and punji traps and all those. You ever seen The Predator? All those cool traps that Arnold Schwarzenegger set up for The Predator with,
logs that swing out of nowhere. And
and smash you.
Up.
Yeah.
Set snares, that set trap.
It's called set snares. It takes 1 slot, I think. And it's dexterity -1. Disguise is 1 slot, and it's charisma -1. So disguise 1, set snares 1.
I guess that's all I get. Animal training, disguise, and set snares, right?
Yep. Charisma. Disguise charisma -1. And set snares is dexterity -1. And now we roll for your gold, so you can purchase equipment. Thieves, well, not so much thieves, but thugs probably start with the same amount as all thieves, but let me check real quick. Thieves Handbook, thug. Okay, yeah, they don't start with any special amount of money. So, let's see, Player's Handbook. Money and equipment, starting money, table 43. Okay, rogues start with 2d6 times 10 GP. So go ahead and roll 2d6. and add a 0, and that's how much gold you start with.
D6 and add what?
Add a 0. So the dice roller's on the left side.
I
There's
got
a
it.
tool. Okay. Okay, you get
5 and a 6.
60 gold. Okay.
Terrible.
Well, not for. I mean, thief equipment's pretty cheap. Well, except for the bow. That part, that does suck. I think short bow might be 60 gold. Let's see, where's the... Oh, right. No, do I have... Let's see, rules, gear and equipment, weapon, armor, data. I don't think this has price. Okay, I do need to put the damn...
And
Yeah, this doesn't have prices on it. Only for armor does it have prices. Okay. So we've got combat and tactics, weapons and armor, weapons.
This short bow here is only 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I think thief picks are like 10 or 15 gold for picking locks, which isn't required to pick locks. It just makes it easier to pick locks. You have your normal chance to pick locks with if you actually have thief picks with you. If you improvise thief picks, it gives you like a minus 50% or something like that. It's really hard, but you can still do it if you're good at picking locks. Weapons tables, weapon groups, master weapon list, equipment groups. There we go. Armor. Shields. Firearms. There we go. The Renaissance. Boom. Okay. That's what we need right there. "100 Years War? No. What? Renaissance. Oh, wow. They messed up the table. Yeah, that's not the table I want. Okay, so we'll use the prices in Player's Handbook, and if there's any prices you want me to look up, I will do so.
I got my hardcover book here, so.
Do you have the Combat and Tactics book?
No, I just got the Player's Handbook. That's the only one I got.
Okay, that's fine. Is it the black cover version?
Yeah.
Good.
Like
That's the
Barbarian
one.
dude on the cover.
Yeah, that's the one that has the 3 different kinds of rations. So
Okay.
that one's awesome. There's like dry rations, they're really expensive. You only get 7 of them, and they cost 10 GP for 7 of them. But that's because they last forever. So, I mean, unless they get wet. That's dry rations. And then there's iron rations, which help you, like, recover and heal. And they are worth, I think it's 5 GP for 7 of them. And then the cheap ones are, and the tastiest ones, by the way, are regular rations. And they have, like, dried fruit and nuts and stuff in them, so they taste good. And cheese and things like that. And they're the cheapest. And they only cost 3 GP for 7 rations. And the way I do rations is each ration weighs about a pound, and you only need 1 per day. Because you can, you just snack on them. It's not like you sit and eat when you're traveling.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I guess I should probably do like armor and weapons and stuff first. What I got left.
Yeah.
So where do I put my equipment at? Under weapons? Is that where I put my stuff, or?
Okay. So you put your weapons onto the weapon table.
Okay, ability scores, weapons. Okay. So 1 longsword.
Yeah.
15.
Oh.
It's a touch attack.
Touch attack is when your objective is just to touch somebody.
Okay.
And
not necessarily attacking them.
well, sometimes it is an attack though, because let's say you're a lich and you want to drain some levels from some guy. All you gotta do is touch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a longsword, a short bow, and a dagger. That's 30, 45, 46, 47. I should have to have some kind of armor.
Thank you, Bloodwild.
Thank you. Where do you find the armor in the? Right here.
Let's see. Armor, I do have prices for. So that's weapon and armor data.
Leather
It's
is
on
15.
this handout. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Leather. It's 15 pounds. Wait, leather armor. Leather armor costs 5 GP.
It does. You're right.
And
Hide was 15.
And it weighs 15 pounds.
Oh, leather it is.
Yeah. And then leather doesn't affect your thief skills. It has no effect on your thief skills.
Where do I put the armor at?
Scroll up. It's right below your health, your HP, where it says armor type, and it says rear AC, natural AC, armor, shield, dexterity bonus, yada yada yada.
Okay.
And we're gonna put your dexterity bonus in there, which is wow, -3. Nice. And then go ahead and put here. You're buying leather armor, so it's leather armor AC 8 15 LBS. And then, are you gonna get a shield too?
Yeah, I
know
was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Most second edition DMs don't know that thieves can use shields in the second edition, and I actually didn't know that until like 2 years ago. I didn't realize that thieves can use shields. It's actually a thing. In the Monstrous Manual, when you encounter like adventurers, there is a table in the Monstrous Manual for rolling treasure for adventurers that you meet, like NPCs. And there's different categories for their magical items. Like the first category is weapon. Second one is shield. Third one is like ring. Fourth one is like potion. Fifth one, oh, armor. Sorry, it goes sword, shield, or sword, armor, shield, ring, potion, and then like miscellaneous magical item or whatever. And maybe there's a couple other categories in there, like rod, staff, wand, or whatever. But and then the different classes have different accesses to those. So like fighters have weapon, shield, armor, ring, potion, I think. And then thieves have weapon, shield, armor, miscellaneous magical item, or something like that. So it literally says, here's thieves, they can have magic shields. So, and then if you read the bard description, it says that bards cannot use shields under their armor section, but in the thief section doesn't say anything about shields. And so for the longest time, my friends and I all thought that no rogues could use shields at all. But that's not the case. Every rogue can, but bards. Which means ninjas can use shields. I think.
It'd be kind of hard to climb with them, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be the bulk of my.
Did you buy a shield?
I don't know. You put a shield down on there. It's already on there. Oh, maybe it's not.
No, you didn't put shield on here. There's a category for it, but you didn't write anything.
Oh, I see. Okay, small. Yeah, small shield.
Oh, you only want a small shield?
Does it make a difference?
See, yeah, big difference. So the way shields work is okay. So you know what a buckler is, right? It actually literally buckles onto your forearm. You can only use it once per round, so you have to declare what attack you want to use your buckler against.
Okay.
And you can only block from the 3 squares in front of you. You can't use it to block against flank attacks on either side. It doesn't matter. Only the 3 squares in front of you. And a cone projected from those 3 squares outwards for missile attacks.
Alright.
So
I'll do a medium shield then.
Okay. Medium shields can be used an unlimited amount of times per round, and you can block the 3 squares in front of you and the flank on your shield arm side. And it's unlimited. They're heavier. Medium shield weighs where is it? Medium shield weighs 7 pounds. And they cost 7 GP.
Okay.
So your medium shield is actually more expensive than your armor.
Well, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
And then I get the arrows. I guess those are cheap. Those are silver pieces. So I guess that how many silver pieces make up a gold piece?
10.
Oh, I guess that would be 6, 12, like 18 arrows. I guess.
Mhm.
Did you keep track of all that stuff, presumably, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And incidentally, arrows are sold by the quiver amount. So when you buy flight arrows, they come in groups of 12 because only 12 flight arrows will fit into a quiver.
Okay.
Like any more than that, and when you pull one arrow out, they all come out and go everywhere. So overstuffing quivers sucks. You can do it, but yeah, if you try to pull one out, they all come out because they're all just tangled together.
Okay.
And then sheaf arrows can only be shot by longbows, and
Okay.
they're sold in half a dozen amounts, so 6.
I see 6 there.
And only 6 will fit in a quiver.
All right. So I'll just do the 12 then. Fine.
You can carry multiple quivers if you want. Like, quivers are not. They weigh like a pound or something like that, or 2 pounds.
I'll start with 1. Where
Okay.
it takes me. What do I got left?
Did you deduct the money for your longsword and your?
Yeah, I was doing it in my head. I was actually doing it in my
dagger.
head here, so. Right on here. I had 60. And short bow, 30. 3.
You might also want some clothes and.
I'm assuming you're not running around naked, right? I mean.
You are, unless you don't buy shoes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless you are, unless you buy shoes. You get what you buy.
Left. Let's see. All right. Well, is there like a general outfit you can buy? You have to go a la carte, buy your pants and.
I think the only pants they have is breeches.
Yeah.
And then most people in medieval times wore a tunic in Western Europe.
All right.
And then for shoes, there's well, you got boots. There's riding boots, which are hard and they have pointy toes and thick heels. And then there's soft boots, which you might want to have. And then there's
As you're sneaking.
for shoes, there's what was it? There's 2 different kinds of shoes as well.
I'm gonna get the soft boots. That's what you want for sneaking around. Pants, it's 3.
I think shoes are cheaper, but
These are only 1. Tunic.
for shoes. Oh, there is only one kind of shoes. Weird. All right. And oh, there's sandals as well. 5 copper for sandals.
All right, so I got the pants, the soft boots, tunic, and a belt. That'll get me covered for I'll run around naked, I guess.
Woo, Keith! Thanks for the raid. All right. And let's see, you're wearing
The cloak. My cloak.
12 pounds worth of armor, right? No. Medium shield is 7 pounds. It's 22 pounds of armor. Long sword is 5 pounds. Short bow. Short bow weighs 2 pounds.
Where do I put this equipment at on the other
under
items of value?
under
or-
gear. You just add lines with the left button. And let's see, daggers. They weigh a pound.
Okay. Let's wait. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Okay. We got weapons, 8 pounds. Bow. Bow. 10 flight arrows weigh 1 pound. Yep. 1 pound. So you see these lines I'm adding?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you put your clothes and your backpack and your pouches and what you have inside your pouch. And I play the old school, you know, if it ain't on your sheet, you don't have it. Ah. Coppers are.
What is ASDF? What is all that crap?
In
Yes.
order to keep a line open, for some reason you have to type in there. So it's just how the character sheet works. So I opened all those lines and I had to type something in. So I typed
Okay,
in.
I got you.
I typed in ASDF.
Whatever. Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh. I just noticed this salsa that I've been eating is extra hot.
It's just not expired. Other than that, you're gonna say.
No, I just bought it today. But it's extra hot. Oh man. It's a really small jar though. It's only a 16-ounce jar. Man, is it good though. I think torches weigh a pound each. How many torches did you buy?
Oh, is that per torch?
Yep, per torch. And then backpack is 2 pounds. Anything that's clothing that you wear, don't worry about the weight.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go with. I'll go with like.
In rules as written, it's 5 pounds per outfit of clothes.
Okay.
But I don't like to have the clothes that you wear weighing you down, because that's actually possible. 5-pound penalty for wearing clothes is pretty stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, when I step on the scale, you know, hey, clothes are 5 pounds.
Yeah, in real life, but I mean, because it's a hard and fast rule in D&D that your outfit weighs 5 pounds. Yeah, quiver goes under gear.
I have that on there.
Did you buy a quiver, or did you just buy arrows?
Wouldn't it just come with the arrows? I mean,
No.
what kind of arrow salesman doesn't give you a quiver?
Every kind.
Quiver salesman doesn't give you arrows.
Arrow salesmen do not give you quivers. They make arrows and not quivers.
Right.
It's
We bargain with these guys. I mean,
bowyers make bows. Fletchers make arrows.
all right.
So quiverers would probably make quivers, or maybe
all right.
maybe leather workers would make quivers.
Where was the stuff? Oh, daily food. Here we go. Daily food. That's not.
What kind of self-respecting quiver is not made of leather?
I don't know. Maybe it's made of bugger hide or something. It's 3 gold pieces. Good lord, man.
3 gold for what?
For standard rations for a week.
Yeah, that's the cheapest.
All right, that's what it is. Standard. A lot of money, man.
Okay. Easiest way to track rations is by weight, because they each weigh a pound. Quiver.
Pounds,
how much does a quiver weigh? I think it weighs a pound, right? Ooh, that's some hot salsa. Ooh. Miscellaneous equipment.
Smokes. It's pushing 1 o'clock here on the East Coast, man.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna have to wrap this up pretty quick.
Quiver is a pound. Yep. Okay. And then, what do you keep in your backpack? Probably your torches, right?
Yeah, probably. I have a lot of other stuff. My
And
sack, I guess.
keep your sack in the backpack. Anything else?
Food.
Oh
Food,
yeah,
and
your
then-
rations. Yeah, easy way, like I said, easy way to track rations is by weight. 7. You only bought 1 week's worth, right? Okay.
Figure I'll trap something otherwise.
And a sack doesn't weigh.
Anything according to the book.
Large one weighs half a pound, but you don't have to worry about anything that weighs less than a pound on this character sheet. And then you are wearing your quiver, wearing your backpack, and then your torches are in your backpack, sack in your backpack, rations in your backpack. You have no way to light your torches.
And I like 2 rocks together.
2 rocks together makes a lot of chips.
A spark eventually.
Nope, no spark from rocks. Nope.
Where's my Tinder thing or my? Find that. Holding.
There's a flint and steel for. Where is it?
Flint and steel. 5 silver pieces.
5 silver. Rope is expensive and heavy.
It was expensive.
Yeah. Hemp rope is a whole gold, and it weighs 20 pounds. Silk rope is 10 gold, and it weighs 8 pounds.
Rope, 50 feet.
Hemp,
Now this says it doesn't cost anything.
1
Oh,
GP.
I see. Go. I see it. You jump down one. Okay. 1 gold piece, 20 pounds. Yeah. Okay. We'll skip the rope for the time being. Hopefully, we don't need it, but whatever. Maybe somebody else's rope. That's a good idea. Rope you really need. Right. Oops. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do I save this?
What do you mean? Save it.
Well, usually it should save changes or whatever when I did that before.
That's only
It's
on
already saved.
edit mode.
So do I hit edit and then save?
No. How much money do you have left?
Look here. Didn't count the quiver. Where's that at?
Right below your boots.
No, in the book. How much was it?
Oh. Uh, 8 silver.
Okay, so I didn't even spend. See, I had 13 left. Silver is almost 1 gold piece, so that would be like 12. The sack didn't cost anything. Backpack
Oh, you're not using decimals?
wasn't. I'll just see what I got here.
Silver is 0.1 and a copper is 0.01.
Backpack was 2, so 10. And torches was cheap. So. Six and a half gold pieces left.
Okay. So 6 gold and 5 silver, or did you want to break it down into coppers as well?
No, that's fine. Just 6
Okay.
gold and silver.
And all you need is your avatar picture, and I'll get you a token. Do you like this token that's already there, or
Yeah, it's okay.
because there's like let's see, your guy has brown hair, or
And I had a image here that I wanted to download, and it just doesn't seem to want to do it. Update file from your art library. I don't know. Does it typically take a long time for it to
for what?
like instant? I'm trying to put the avatar.
Oh, yeah. Usually, I mean, there's usually a loading bar if it works.
Wait, there it is. Didn't get the whole image on there, but you're cut off. Wait, there he is. No, I guess he's all there. Just cut off on this thing. All right, can you see him on there?
Um, yep. Oh, okay. A hood and gotcha. Okay. So more of like an
Imagine this.
assassin-looking guy.
Yeah, but he's like in disguise, kind of.
Yeah.
He may not look like that all the time, but when he's skulking around, would be what he'd be wearing.
Ugh. Let's see.
Is there a way to export this if I wanted to like print it off somewhere?
They're working on that actually. I'm pretty sure. Um, I check the forums like 2 or 3 times a week uh, on Roll20, and every Friday they put out like a little update of what they're doing and what they're trying to do and stuff. And that's one of the things that people have requested. Like there's a forum for requests. I don't know if you knew that. But people have been asking that for a long time. For the ability to print shit. Print a character sheet off or and I think the forum says that they are they have it like lined up, or I forget the jargon they use. It's like blocked or whatever if it's impossible, and then they use really weird jargon.
Oh, all right. It looks like I'm kind of up here. It's 1 o'clock here, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to split, but
Yeah. Have a good night.
so I'm good to go then, right?
Yep. On Sunday.
Okay,
So-
Sunday, 1 o'clock your time. Is there?
It would be 1
So
o'clock
6
your
o'clock.
1 o'clock your time,
1 o'clock my time. Perfect. Got it.
because you're East Coast time, right?
Yep, correct.
So 10, 11, 12, 1. Yep. So it's
Okay,
10,
so
10
1
o'clock
o'clock.
for me, 1 o'clock for you.
All right, I'll be there, man.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, sleep well. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, man. See ya.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. And for our viewers, thank you very much for watching. This has been Character Creation Catan, the thug thief. Right? He's a thug. That's what's up. Let's see, who can we raid? Oh, Jesse's playing Resident Evil 2. You guys want to watch some Resident Evil 2? This is an online friend of mine, Jesse. His channel is called IMHORPG. Stands for In My Humble Opinion Role-Playing Game. He is from Los Angeles. No. He's from somewhere back east. He's from somewhere in Pennsylvania. I want to say like Philly or something like that. But he now lives in LA. And he's the guy that introduced me to Chillwave. So on my... yeah, PST real time. That's what's up. I'm guessing, Bloodwild, that you are from California? They're in Cali. Okay. Yeah, so IMHORPG, he lives in LA, and he's the guy that introduced me to Chillwave. So, he's pretty cool. He's got a good vibe. He's all about vibing. So, whatever that means. Here we go. Gonna meet Jesse. Gonna meet Jesse.